What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Embrace the Opposite. I'm your host, Andrew. How about this, guys? Wanted to come at you today with this idea of story and why I think it's so important. Basically, there are themes that I believe that the universe operates on. And, one could ponder, were these themes there before the stories actually were developed? What came first, the chicken or the egg sort of scenario? What came first, the stories or this universal code that we have all kind of fallen into? But I think it's important to look at these things and to understand the themes that happen throughout our lives. And I want to talk only about one part of that today, trying to keep the video short here, but wanted to talk about the journey. So some of the greatest stories ever told, a large part of that is part of the reason why we are so attracted to it is because of a journey that the main character goes on. So you have stories like the Odyssey, where Odysseus travels away to fight the Trojan War, and that's 10 years, and then another 10 years it takes him to get back to his homeland. Any theme where you have a character who's leaving their homeland or stepping away from what they've always known is a great theme of embracing the opposite. It's something that a lot of us, our culture kind of dictates. So, if you're going to college, you're normally going to go away, even if it is to a community college that's close by, you're going to step away from your normal life of being at home every day if you were raised with your parents or a family member. Another aspect of this is when you go away to camp. I can remember the first time I went away to basketball camp, and there's fear involved with that. There's the unknown. What's going to happen? What friends am I going to make? And I know this story well because in my life I had the opportunity to play professional basketball overseas for a few years after college. So college is one of those going away from home themes, but I think even on a larger scale, the military, going away to foreign countries and different things like that. But thankfully I was blessed enough to go ahead and play basketball. And one story comes to mind specifically, or at least half of a story comes to mind, is when I went to play basketball in Finland. And this is where, as I look back, and I'll tell you guys the story, but as I look back, it really harks on some of these universal principles. And this is why I think it's so important to embrace the opposite when you're looking at, okay, what choices am I going to make in my life? I was in Finland and I had gone over there to play basketball. I was all set and ready to go. I'm working out back home in the States, and I tweaked my hamstring a little bit, but I'm young, I'm spry. I think it's going to be okay. I get over there. They want to see me play right away, so I get out, do some things on the court, and I end up actually pulling my hamstring or tearing it completely. So it was pretty hard. The club and I had to make a decision. So the club sits me down in a meeting, very kind of, I felt like I was in an interview. You have the owner, the president of the club, you have the coach, assistant coaches. They're all sitting across the table from me, and they say, we've thought about it, and here's what we want to do based on your injury. We can either send you home right away. You can go back home. And at this time, I had probably been there about 2 weeks. I was very homesick. I wanted to get back to normalcy, back to what felt comfortable for me. And that was where my mind was kind of pointing. The other half of it is they say, so you can go home or you can stay here. You can rehab your hamstring. You can get healthy 100%. We'll pay for everything. And then when the time comes, when you're healthy again, you can come back and play against another American. So they were going to basically bring in another American to kind of fill the hole that I left. And then once I got healthy, me and him were going to have to go head to head for the position. All of those things are not attractive at the time. Again, I'm homesick. I'm hurt. I'm kind of depressed. And here they are telling me that we'll get you rehab, but at the end of it, you probably can still go home because you're going to be coming off of an injury. He's going to have played all this time, and it's going to be the way it goes. So I told them I'll go home. I said, thank you for the offer. I I appreciate all you guys have done for me in these 2 weeks, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go home, rehab, and get ready to go. So they're like, okay, some of them look a little, unhappy with that decision, but I went ahead and made that choice. What happens is after that, I go into a practice. I wasn't playing at the time, so I go into a practice to where the team is practicing, and I sit and I watch these guys work out. They're playing, they're clapping hands, giving each other high fives. They're making plays. They're doing good things, and I sat and thought about all the hard work that I had put in. And so eventually, after the practice is over, I go up to the coach and I say, "Coach, you know what? I've changed my mind. I want to go ahead and stay. I want to stay. I want to rehab, and I want to go up against the other guy that you guys bring in, and I want to beat him out for the position." And thankfully, I ended up doing that. The club really liked, I think, more so while I was rehabbing, my personality, the way I treated people around me. These things go a long way. Moral of the story is that we all find ourselves in foreign lands at some point or another. We all find ourselves away from our home base, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing who our friends are. And I think it's so important to look at those moments and embrace the opposite. Look at those moments as not necessarily as negatives, but as positives. When I look back over my life, every time I've journeyed away from home, I've come back with something learned, something greater that added to my character, added to aspects of my life that I would use later in my life. And so we really need to look at these areas as positives, accept them, embrace them, and really see where they can help us grow and benefit. Everyone, everyone has these moments. Even if it is going for a weekend trip somewhere. And it doesn't have to be hardship. It doesn't have to be, I'm going over here for a boot camp, or I'm going here for something that I don't want to do. It can even be something that you are looking forward to. But these trips, these short spurts of leaving our home and then coming back, these are universal themes. And when we do them, we should look for them to improve us as human beings, to enrich us, and grow our characters. And so, guys, that's what I wanted to share today. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.